We have some cheesemakers and cocktails and coming up, and we're going to go ahead and start off with Michele with Cypress Grove, and she's going to introduce us to a French 75 version, off version, commemorating the start of Cypress Grove, I believe. So let's go ahead and hear from Michele. Michele?
Hi everybody. Hi Michael. Thanks so much for getting us together, because I can't think of a better way or a better crowd to spend Friday afternoon with. So it's nice to see you virtually, even if we can't be in the same room. We can sure still share a cocktail. So when Michael approached us and said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" Of course, I was like, "Well, we don't really drink, so I don't know." But it seemed like a good idea to get our rusty chops back into the holiday spirit. And I wanted to feature Humboldt Fog, which is of course our iconic goat cheese out of Humboldt County. You can see this particular wheel is straight off of the rack in the aging room. You can still see the rack lines, which you don't really get too much of, because the bloomy rind usually grows over that by the time it gets from your distributor to you, or from your store to you. So it's kind of fun to see this. It's super fresh, very young. And one of the ways that I love to eat this cheese is with like a savory or sweet cracker, like an Effie's oat biscuit, which is what I've got, or a rustic cracker, a rustic bakery shortbread cracker, and a little bit of lemon curd. It's just an amazing bite. So I wanted to do a cocktail that was kind of hits those same notes. This is a soft, bloomy goat cheese. It is not as tart and acidic as sometimes a fresh goat cheese can be, but it has a lot more nuance, but it still goes really well with those nice citrus notes. So as Michael said, I have a take on a French 75, which we're calling the Arcata 83. As you may not know, Cypress Grove was founded in 1983 in Arcata, California. Mary Keene came to California with a dream and got herself a goat, and here we are 30 some odd years later, making wonderful goat cheese still in Arcata. And so we wanted to pay a little bit of homage to that with a French drink. I say that because she went to France to learn how to make goat cheese at one point, or more knowledge of goat cheese making at one point. And so when she was flying home on the plane, she had this dream as they were, cruising into Humboldt, about the fog that rolls in over the bay. And so that's the inspiration for Humboldt Fog, that ash line down the center, meaning to represent the fog line in the bay. And she was coming home from France. So these are all very loose tie-ins, but I'll do anything to get a drink in me. So there you have it. The French 75, a Soixante-quinze, is traditionally a champagne drink, obviously. It's named after, it was World War I is when it was first recorded at Harry's Bar in Paris, which was owned by an American jockey, actually. So it was the New York bar, Harry's Bar in Paris, owned by an American, that started this drink. Called the French 75 because it was to pack the same kind of wallop as a French 75 millimeter cannon. So it went from champagne to champagne plus cognac or gin. In my case, I'm gonna make champagne and gin. So what are we doing here? Let's see. It is, you need a shaker. I got the jumbo shaker for me and both my friends. And so you just have a shaker full of ice, and you add a little bit. This is a recipe that was sort of refined by our friend Belinda Chang, and she taught me this great recipe for simple syrup instead of using, in the pandemic, I've got little bits and bobs laying all over the house and not necessarily making a lot of trips out to go grab stuff. So I had some white wine left over, and I made some, in this case, I made simple syrup with pink champagne. So I have a little pink champagne simple syrup. It's just 1-to-1. You put it in a pan and you just cook it until the sugar dissolves, and you have this lovely sugary substance that makes your drinks delicious. So I need an ounce of that, or an ounce and a half, whatever that measure is. I'll take it. And through the magic of television, some fresh squeezed lemon juice, 3/4 of an ounce. And what else? Oh, some gin. That's what gives it that, packs that punch. And what makes it an Arcata 83 instead of a French 75 is that this Jewel gin is from Humboldt County. It's from Blue Lake, California. And this bottle of gin is from batch number 4 from 2019. So equal part of gin to the simple syrup. Splash some on your table for a look. Give it a shake. I feel like the Galloping Gourmet. Give it a shake. Last time I did this, I forgot to hold on to the top of my shaker, so if you're doing fancy shaking like that and it comes, the shaker top flies off, that's no fun. So you give it a nice shake over ice. See if you can open the thing. Pour a little bit into your glass. You can do this in a highball glass as well. I just happen to think for the holidays that that a champagne flute is more festive. And then you top that with about 3 ounces of champagne. This is another, if you are one of, I don't know how this happens to people, but apparently people sometimes have leftover champagne. And if you do, this is a great use of that. This is Mirabelle champagne, also from California, the Arcata 83. And then, simple as pie, you just put a little lemon. And because we are coming from California, this is a Meyer lemon. Zoop, zoop, zoop. And you've got a lovely lemony cocktail that goes so well with an ash ripened goat cheese like this. Let me just do a little quality assurance. Yeah, you can drink that. I can drink that. I'll be drinking that as soon as we get off the TV here. And I think it's going to go really lovely with this Humboldt Fog, which is just such an amazing cheese and so beautiful on the plate, perfect for any cheese board that you're doing, even if you're just doing one for yourself for the holidays. I don't even need the cracker. So good. All right, so that's my cheese, that's my cocktail, and I highly recommend both.
Wow, that's so much fun. That is so much fun. Thank you. I didn't have any Humboldt Fog, but I have some Miss Natural, so I've been snacking on that a little bit. And again, I'm on the bourbon trail, so I'm just enjoying that. It works just as well with a little bit of bourbon. So
nice smoky note. A nice smoky note in the bourbon. It's really good with that tangy goat cheese. Also, if you have a nice cocktail napkin, that's a nice thing you can do for yourself. Mine says, comfort and joy. How about a drink and a nap?
I been chasing around on here, which I had earlier, a Cypress Grove cocktail for my cocktail, but it during the great computer disturbance, it's disappeared temporarily, but I'll find it back. That sounds like a fabulous, fresh, and not so simple, but lovely cocktail. All right.
You know, put the effort in, Michael. You deserve it.
I'm going to, you know, even though that it's not bourbon and it's shifting to gin, I can do that. So